Good evening to you. So Sandra is an independent journalist and a blogger. She published in early July some of the Telegram chat messages, and now she has promoted on social media that she is preparing to publish close to 97 pages of text messages, right? These are not Telegram chat messages.
It's not a Telegram chat message. It's something different, but it involves some of the same people that were included on the original Telegram chat. The governor and some of his assistants and government officials as well.
Sandra was telling me before we did this interview that she spent today going through the documents. And Sandra, I would never ask you to reveal your source, but do you want to tell the audience how you were able to authenticate and validate, verify that these documents are in fact real?
Yes, I did. I spoke to more of one of the sources. There are more than one source, I should say, and we validated the document, and they certified that they were involved with that. And I went over the document. The documents are, as I said, about 100 pages. It's exactly about 97 pages or 96 pages, and I went through all of those and spent about 3 hours reading and talking to the sources and also reading through the pages. So it was very revealing.
All right. So now the question everybody wants to know: what's in it?
It's most of the document. I would say it's a repetition of the same tactics that they included on the Telegram chat. Has a lot of attacks on the media, particularly reporters and public persons and very well known and mainly personalities in Puerto Rico. And also they mock the people that are heavyweight, and also I didn't see anything regarding the LGBT community, but I did see some mocking on women, particularly on women, misogynistic comments as well. And also most of this conversation entails how the government operated and how they try to manipulate and control the communications and the public opinion in Puerto Rico, including the way they handled the media. And when they see a reporter that it was not covering what they wanted to, or their position, they will go after that reporter. I'm working on a story that will come out tomorrow, a summary, but then we're still working on how to see we're going to be able to put those pages out, the entire document out. Probably tomorrow in the afternoon or Wednesday morning.
Can you give us some examples?
Well, I see people like Jay Fonseca, my friend Jay Fonseca, the reporter from television, from TV. Myself, there's one particular area where they make specific comments and very derogatory comments about myself, and even threats of harming myself. That's included on the chat. And other ones.
Threats of harming you?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Not at this. I will include that on the chat. But basically, they didn't like what I was writing or what I was saying, and not even writing in stories. Basically, what I was saying on social media. So they were even monitoring what we were commenting on social media, particularly Twitter.
Can you talk about who you said the governor is one of the people participating in these text messages? Who else?
Governor is heading the conversation. Carlos Bermudez is on that conversation as well. Ramon Rosario as well on that conversation. Ricardo Gerandi and some of the other top government officials as well.
For the audience may not know, so the governor is obviously Ricardo Rosario. Ramon Rosario is the former Secretary of Public Affairs. Who were the other individuals?
Carlos Bermudez was one of the public relations and press relations assistant and consultant from the government. And Ricardo Gerandi was a former chief of staff as well. He just a couple of days ago he resigned.
Any quotes, Sandra, that stand out to you, emblazoned in your mind?
Basically, the one that all the misogynistic comments that they said about myself, that's what really bothered me the most. But I rather publish them on paper so that people are able to see and read the documents.
What is your emotional reaction, just reaction after reading this?
It's upsetting because of one of the key fundamentals of our democracy of our Puerto Rican Constitution and also the Constitution of the United States is the freedom of expression and the freedom of the press. And particularly on this week, where in Puerto Rico we commemorate and we celebrate Press Week. Most of the reporters are going to be receiving awards this week for their outstanding reporting throughout the year. And this week, every year we tend to analyze and reflect on best practices and how to improve the journalism in Puerto Rico and the right and even more than journalism, the right of the people to know what's going on, because keep in mind that we're only intermediaries. We serve the public. So when the press is attacked, the public is attacked, and the Constitution is attacked, and democracy is attacked.
Sandra, when did you get word that these new messages, they're not Telegram, they are chat, they're text, just like you would on the telephone? When did you get tipped off that these existed, and when were they offered to you?
I knew about this about a couple of days ago. I heard rumors that there were two or three other chats or other dates additional to the ones that has already been published. But I got a hold of this yesterday, last night, I should say. And as I said, I spent most of the evening today looking over the documents.
I keep hearing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. And talking to the sources.
You and I both keep hearing that there are more chat messages to come. Have you been able to verify that? I mean, they haven't come out yet.
No, I haven't seen them. I have heard the same rumors, and I asked some of the sources if they were involved with that, but they didn't say.
Okay. Is there anything else I haven't asked you that you'd like to add?
At this moment, it's just that the only thing that I like to look over the information is to compare the dates. And also, I still have some, I don't remember those dates. I don't have my notes right here with me. I'm not in my house, so I don't have the notes. But it's interesting to see when you compare the previous Telegram chat, the dates where they were making those comments and what was going on in the public in terms of public public policy and all the news that were taking place. So it's really scary, the fact that a government is able to manipulate communications as they did. I don't know if you're aware, there was a study published, I think yesterday or today, about how they handled social media using trolls.
Yeah, I would encourage people, if they want to know, it's a Medium article. If you go to Google, just type in Medium and Rosselló. There is a forensic lab that literally went through and found some of the troll accounts that are still existing today. And you can go and look and see there are a few government officials who follow those accounts. I want to let the audience know that whoever is leaking these Telegram messages, the island's government has said they are looking into who the leaker is. And today, the federal, one of the federal authorities, Rosa Emilia, who is the United States attorney, said she will not get involved in investigating so long as the island's Justice Department is investigating. But I should tell everyone, it's not her job to investigate. It's the FBI's job to investigate. So if the FBI decides they want to, they would then turn over their evidence to Rosa Emilia, who would decide whether or not to prosecute it. Sandra, what is your blog for everyone who wants to read it?
My blog is En Blanco y Negro, which is a Spanish translation for In Black and White, and you can find it in Blogger. And you can type my name, Sandra Rodriguez Coto, and you will find it. It's in Spanish. I'm gonna try to do a translation, David, for you. Okay.
Got it. Sandra, thank you very much for your time.
Same to you. Thank you. Thank you for calling me.